hello. Tomorrow is the big one. Champions League, Arsenal are in action, and of course, we are facing Atletico Madrid. A very big task, a very tough task, and very important task that will show what is what, where we stand, where we could finish in Champions League, how it could go, where it could go, and to be honest, to some extent, what Arsenal's season is all going to be about. So today on the stream, we're gonna talk about all the stuff surrounding Atletico Madrid and Arsenal playing them. So smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and of course, leave your thoughts down the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them in regards of Champions League. So yeah, people, big up Mubarak, big up. Yeah, Arsenal's toughest test. You could definitely argue that tomorrow, and it could be very Champions League defining as well. Because if we have obviously Atletico Madrid at home, then we have Bayern Munich at home after November international break. So those two games must-win games, and it will show Arsenal what is what. Can you make for us combined 11? We can do something like that. We can definitely do something like that. 100%. We will do our starting 11 prediction. If you want, we can try and push out a combined 11 as well. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. My first stream when I woke up and the last stream before I go to bed. Nice timing. Amazing timing. I'm not gonna lie. Amazing timing, to say the least. But yeah, people, we are in for a big one. Champions League, under the lights, and it's Atletico Madrid at home. Something was very fishy about this because for me personally, last year, we also had an option potentially to face Atletico Madrid in Champions League. But Real Madrid went through and we got Real Madrid. Was it lucky or not? Obviously, people will say it was lucky because we smashed Real Madrid, to be honest, over two legs. I think if we played Atletico Madrid, it would have been a completely different story to some extent. But tomorrow in Champions League, we will see what is what. We will see what is what. And obviously, the big questions still remain. Will Gyökeres finally score? Will Arteta be brave, not scaredy cat? Won't he be a coward? Again, with putting Merino in the number 10 role and being more defensive. The same questions. What result are we going to get? Because whenever we have faced some of these big teams, we saw this against Liverpool, we saw this against Man City. Will we see something of the same against Atletico Madrid? Will we do that? That for me is also a big question because as soon as the starting 11 comes out for this game, we will see we will already start to make our assumptions, our expectations, and our predictions for the game. And that is gonna be a very interesting one, to say the least. Big up Fusion is not jazz. Hopefully you're doing well. I was about to go to bed, but actually big up everyone. Big up. Sorry, I'm keeping you awake. It's difficult to predict. Yeah, exactly. It is difficult to predict because Atletico Madrid is one of those. We haven't faced them a lot in Champions League, Europa League, or anything. We haven't beaten them as well in Europa League. Remember that infamous game, those two infamous games. Where Oblak was standing on his head and saving every single shot, which was kind of nuts, and we eventually went out to them. Will be interesting. Will we see some more of that? How Simeone's team is going to look? Because obviously, compared to those times, they have completely different squad to some extent. But still, the mentality is the same for them. The attitude, what they're going to walk into the game is also some of the same. So the questions remain, will Mikel Arteta out-tactic Diego Simeone? One of the managers I actually would love to have at Arsenal in Diego Simeone. And then tomorrow, people will make judgments. Because if we beat them, you can bet your sweet ass top Gooners are going to crawl out of their holes and say, see, we beat Diego Simeone and you wanted him at Arsenal and all this stuff. It's going to happen if that happens. To be honest, I know it's spiteful, it's weird, it will be annoying, but at the same time, I will be happy because Arsenal will have won. That is the nuts part. At the end of the day, the main goal for all of this is to win the game. Because for us, the two home games against Atletico Madrid and in November against Bayern Munich at home, arguably are the defining ones for us where we could finish and where we gonna finish in Champions League group stages. Will we finish in top 8, or will we finish below that and we will have extra 2 games? And obviously, looking from my perspective, we need to finish in top 8. I want to avoid these extra 2 games as much as possible, as quickly as possible, because with all the schedule we have, with FA Cups and everything, hopefully in between and everything, it's gonna be hell on earth, to say the least. So definitely, I'm looking from that point of view. We need the less games as possible, especially with the injuries as well. I'm not using that as an excuse, but just saying that will give us an extra reasons to basically rest players, and we will have less injuries. Also, at the same time, I have seen people already predicting that tomorrow Arsenal could get an injury just because of the way, the style, how Atletico Madrid play. And that, to be honest, is a big worry as well for me, because there aren't like 2 key positions where if we get injuries, it could be very, very nuts. It could be nuts. It could be worrying, to say the least, going long term. Anything can happen, of course. Anything can happen under the lights at the Emirates. Anything can happen. Big up, Camden. Big up, Camden. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope today was kind to you. Arsenal vs Atletico Madrid will be a stinkfest from Arsenal, and I can see Atletico getting a narrow win, maybe 1-0. For me, that is the thing. As soon as the starting 11 comes out, and if we see Mikel Merino in that 10 role, it will tell us everything we need to know, won't it? Just like it was against City and Liverpool, where we're going to try to be more defensive. We will try to be more composed, let's just put it that way. We will think about our own security first, then we're going to think about the attack. It's the starting 11 will be very, very telling in what direction Mikel Arteta is going to go. Because for me, if we want to do something big in Champions League, if we want to get to the finals of Champions League, this is one of those games where you should be taking a risk. I know it kind of contradicts my previous statement regarding the fact that this game against Atletico Madrid is hella important, just like against Bayern Munich, because if we lose those 2, we might not finish in top 8. At the same time, I want Arteta to take risks. I want him to be brave. We are at Emirates, for peep's sake. We are not playing at Wanda Metropolitano, where it will be a completely different story, completely different situation. We are playing at home against Atletico Madrid. That is the case. Atletico have drawn 4 matches and lost 1 in La Liga. They are 4th in La Liga and 8 points off top spot. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it means nothing, does it, to be honest? Because let's be real, anything can happen. On any given day, any team can beat anyone. And we all know how teams tend to switch on in these games, especially when they are away. And Diego Simeone, whether you like it or not, he's a master of shithousery. If people say we have the dark arts, right? He is the grand master of the dark arts, his team. So it will be very interesting to see them both collide in that game tomorrow. Very, very interesting. I don't have a score prediction yet, but I think we will see a total different game between first and second half, respectively. Yeah, that could be the case. That definitely could be the case, because one of the teams is going to try to maybe go for it, maybe. At the same time, one goal could influence this game to such a scale that nobody expects, depending on which team scores first, obviously. Let's be real, because to be honest, even if I say which team scores first, my expectations are that if Arsenal score first, we're going to sit back and hit on counters. Well, try at least. If Atletico Madrid score first, they're going to do the same. Like, there will be no difference. You will see the same no matter what. So that will be very, very interesting. But I think it's going to be very, very dull game to a certain extent, at least in the beginning, because teams are going to try to feel each other out. Pause. I can see Atletico making good use of the space at Emirates, as their players are technically superior on the ball. Yes, 100%. That, for me, is the biggest worry. Mikel Arteta basically has combined team of big athletes, right? And unfortunately for us, he has combined a team of athletes that don't have the technical ability as good as people would wish to have. And to play against Arsenal, you have to be one of the 2 things: very technical or very, very physical. And those 2 things kind of tend to put Arsenal in a desperate situation somehow. We panic, we go just in hiding, we disappear, we are very vulnerable. And so far, it's been like that for over the last few years, and especially with the physicality aspect. And we all know that Atletico Madrid are going to play very physical, very athletic, and very, very annoying football. because every tackle they're going to make, it's going to be straight into the bone, straight up, so you can feel it, so you don't, basically an intimidating tackle, so you don't think about doing certain things again. And that will also test our players' mentality, how ready they are for such situations, because it's also not excluded that we are not going to face them sometime in the future. Quarterfinals, semifinals, who knows? And it's going to be very, very, very interesting. There are lots of things riding on this game, and lots of things are going to be very telling about this game regarding Arsenal and everything. So we'll see. Big up, Andrew. Why are so negative? This is just phase 4, a few more, and we will get there. Believe it's phase 7, not 4. So relax. Yeah, but anyways, big up. I actually think we will win. Big up for you. It will therefore be a stinkfest. Yeah, I expect that at least. And I can't make a precise prediction, but in my opinion, the fact that we are at home is a massive pro for us. We would get steamrolled away. Yeah, at Wanda Metropolitano, it would be a completely different story. The issue about this is, though, Emirates, it's not Highbury, for example. Because if we were playing this game at Highbury and Highbury was still here, right, I would be looking at this game potentially slightly differently. But right now, when I'm looking at this game, Emirates' atmosphere is kind of dead. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of dead, with all the ballots and everything, disrupting the Ashburton army, disrupting the fans and everything, because it's more tendered now to the tourists, because there will be a lot of tourists in this game. Don't be fooled, right? So the atmosphere is going to be the key. And how much is that going to influence the team? How many arm waves are you going to see? Will the players play for the crowd, or they will wait for the crowd to basically lift up the team? Because that was the case last year. There were quite a few games where Mikel Arteta basically was moaning about this, that get your shin pads, get your shirts, the cleats and all this stuff, and play with us together, right? And at the same time, he also was saying that there was not enough support from the fan base. He kind of blamed fan base for losing the game, which was kind of insane, to say the least. So time will tell, obviously. Time only will tell what is what, where it's going to go. But overall, it's going to be very, 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 very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. Do we have history playing against them? I don't recall. We do. Because we played them in Europa League, and we lost to them over 2 legs. That was the game where basically Oblak was standing on his head and making saves left, right, and center. We haven't faced them often, only 2 times. We haven't faced them a lot. We have faced them only on 2 occasions. At Emirates, we could have won the game like 4-5-1, but Oblak was saving shots left, right, and center like no tomorrow. And obviously at, what was it before that? I don't remember even. But we away game against Atletico Madrid, we lost to them 1-0. We have played them on 2 occasions only. On 1 occasion, but 2 games, right? And that was Europa League semifinal. Semifinal, quarterfinal, I think it was semifinal. And we lost to them. It was a close game. At the same time, it wasn't great. It was quite annoying that we couldn't finish our dinner. It's not about the fact that our stadium is a library. It's the fact that the AM Stadium is a colder. Well, it's freezing there. Let's just put it that way. It's radio silence sometimes. And that, for me, is the biggest worry. The radio silence that could basically echo through Emirates, especially if in the first 5-10 minutes Atleti score a goal, because then it's gonna be, it could be the end of days. Let's just put it that way. It definitely could be the end of days if we go to that, if we go to those lengths. Let's just put it that way. I think the first goal, if it's gonna come even, let's be real, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how other team responds at the end of the day, because for Arsenal at home, we must win. Let's be real. If we want to be in top 8, we need to beat at least one of these 2 games, or Bayern or Atleti at home. We need to beat at least one of them. And for me, I believe we have bigger chance on beating Atleti, as nuts it may sound, than actually beating Bayern Munich. So it will be very, very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. But if Arsenal score first, it will be interesting how also Atleti respond, because Atleti are not one of those teams you can push around. No matter how they're doing, no matter how you are doing, they're gonna stick to the plan. They're gonna be compact. They're gonna be insane. They're gonna press you out of every single spot, half pocket. There will be literally almost no space to run into. At least that's what I expect. And it will be interesting to see what they do. It will be interesting to see what we do, what Arteta has planned, because based on the games against teams like Fulham and Port Vale, it's not too exciting and not too exhilarating. Let's just put it that way. At the same time, there is that hope, isn't it? For me, there is that hope. There is that hopium and copium as an Arsenal fan inside of me that we're actually going to do good tomorrow. There is that hope. But as I said, the starting 11 will be very telling. Who's going to be in the 10? Who's going to be on the wings, specifically left wing? It's going to be very, 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 very telling. So yeah, time only will tell at the end of the day. Time only will tell. But yeah, people. Next thing on the agenda we need to discuss is this. We need to talk about this. Mikel Arteta's press conference. Press conference before the game against Atletico de Madrid. So, our third Champions League game of the season sees us take on Atletico Madrid at Emirates Stadium. And Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the press ahead of the clash. So, get your syrup, get your cocoa, and let's dive into Mickey Ross Waffle House settings. Let's see what the man had to say about tomorrow's game coming up. We are currently unbeaten in the league phase. That is also a big thing. And Mikel previewed the showdown with the La Liga outfit, answering questions on his squad, our form, and much more. Will be very interesting. I guess my opinion about results stems more from the fact that I'm kind of sick of the banter at this point. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. I decided to take my place on defense and for once in a while just leave it to the fraud to win something and not really criticize him. Like, I'm gonna say it like this. Am I Arteta out? Yes, I am. Right? At the same time, I only criticize when it needs to be criticized. Let's just put it that way. Like, I'm not doing it out of nowhere. I'm doing it just for the sheer purpose of basically criticizing him. I just do it when I see something I don't like. I have seen other managers do differently, and they have been successful. And obviously, one of the prime examples is Arsene Wenger. And if you look around other teams, there you have also some prime examples. I just go from that. And he better win something because it might as well mean my early retirement from football, bro. Don't let Arsenal distract you from football. Big up Dio. Robo, you have a very deep well of sanity to tolerate Arteta's presses, you know. Well, I do, technically, but we'll see what he says because that's going to affect a lot of things. Big up AJ. And people, like the stream if you haven't already, and subscribe if you are new around here, if you haven't already. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the live chat as well. Big up AJ. Hope you're doing well today. On the mentality after beating Fulham. It's very happy, obviously, and especially after international breaks when you know that you have to align and regroup everybody. You could tell that in the first 10 minutes that we were a bit still getting that rhythm, but after watching the game back, I think that we deserve to win. There are things to improve, but we take the win and we move on now from the Champions League match. On Hinkapie's availability, he will be available. So Hinkapie is available for tomorrow. That is one of the injury updates people are talking about. I think the Fulham game came a bit too early for him, so he had another 2 very good sessions and he's ready to go. So there's a possibility we might see Hinkapie tomorrow, especially, let's just say, if we are 1-0 up, 2-0 up, right? And we need to hold on to the result. We could see him getting subbed on at some point. On coming up against Diego Simeone and how highly he rates him at the highest level, I think I think what he's done since he got Atletico has been outstanding. Not only what he has achieved, but the way he's done it. I think the identity that he has created for the club, for the team, the spirit, I think they are very simple and clear to identify. And that's because the manager is very much them. That's extremely difficult to achieve for a short period of time, and to do it for 14 years, I think has been there now. He's done something incredible, so it will be a pleasure to meet him. On William Saliba watching Atletico Madrid after win against Fulham. Props to William Saliba. Props to William Saliba for doing some scouting on his own on the player movements, on the player attacks, how they like to move, which feed they favor, and how they want to go about things. I'm very pleased because I didn't encourage it. So it came from them. Who is them? He got asked about Saliba. Who is them? So Arteta doesn't encourage other players to watch the games of the teams they are playing against. I kind of could get Premier League, but Champions League should be a bit different, shouldn't it? That's the most powerful thing. A game finishes, the job is done, but now what's next? What's next challenge? What's the next opportunity? We know that there's going to be a really tough one. So the earlier we start to think about it and prepare, the better. I love that initiative from the players, and it tells you how much they want it and how focused they are on what is next. To be honest, he's not wrong on using Simeone as inspiration for his longevity as Atletico boss. There is someone that I look up to and learn from in my situations. What is for me outstanding is his passion. I think for how long he's been in the game and in the same club with the same players, and how you still have the handle and that capacity to transmit such an energy and willingness to win. It's a very tough environment that we live in, and to keep convincing players, you have to be extraordinary as well. I don't know him personally, but everything that I have heard about him is that he's good at doing that. That's one of the reasons why you are able to sustain that level. And if he would want to see Simeone in the Premier League, it's going to get tougher. We have enough super good managers here, so I don't know. That will be completely up to him. If one day he wants to experience that, what I can say is that from what I have seen, and after analyzing the team, how well they are coached. I'm making a sandwich, bro. The weekend went too well for an Arteta presser mushing it up. Enjoy the sandwich, bro. Enjoy the sandwich. I guess Ben White is next in line in playing Arteta's saw games. I want to play a game, live or die. Make your choice. Yeah, basic. It looks that way. It definitely feels that way. Big up Marlon. Big up Marlon. When Yeri in for Eze, who is ghost again. Well, he had a very poor game against Fulham, Eze. I'm not gonna lie. Against Atleti, it would be very interesting to see him. I'm very curious if Arteta would play, let's just say, Eze on the left and Ranieri in the 10. But I think Arteta will view this game, right, as too big of a game for Ranieri to start. So he most likely is going to put Martinelli on the left and Eze in the 10. That's at least what I expect. At least that's what I'm expecting. On getting 9 points in the last 3 games in the league, we have to get as much information as we can and understand the reasons why we dropped certain points last season, and then try to implement them. To be fair, sometimes from a draw to a win, there are details and things that have to go our way. Small margins, guys. But it's true that the team shows a different kind of maturity, threat, and probably conviction at this stage. But it's still very early. We have to do it for another 30 games, and that's going to be the objective. On being the favorite for the Premier League title. Not gonna lie, this doesn't concern Champions League whatsoever. The only thing that I embrace is when I see the team, the energy, the temperature, the commitment, and the quality that they can deliver, that it gives me the conviction that we can all go away, all the way, but that's it. That's just a feeling. Then the next day you have to prove in the next training session, you have to prove it and nothing else. We cannot be busy thinking about those topics. On whether he has been inspired by Simeone's culture at Atletico. No. I think I got that done more through my experiences and my beliefs, especially my understanding of Arsenal and this football club and my experience here. I think to put a different context to this one is extremely difficult. And at the end, I think you have to be authentic to your beliefs, your way of dealing with people, especially, which is the most important thing when you talk about culture. Slowly, you have an idea. And after that, sometimes you can change the trajectory a little bit to understand what is the best for the club. You know, you have to be authentic to your beliefs, your way of dealing with people. You know, like ESR gets, when Ranieri gets ESR treatment, other players don't, and all this stuff. That doesn't speak well about that, though, does it? Doesn't speak well about that. Nah, he'll start Merino. That's my expectation as well. Merino was the press conference, I think. I see it as a certain sign. Yeah, that is one of the things. There's a 90%, I would say 80% chance that if a player joins the manager in a press conference, he's going to start, isn't it? Atletico got me scared to watch TV. Hey, it's not Halloween yet. Don't worry. On Gabriel Heinz, what Gabriel Heinz has brought to our defense, I think that's something very, very collective with all the coaches, with the players, with their commitments, as well as Gabriel added something different, that willingness to win. We've seen that through his career, that experience to win and to elevate somebody's level, ambition and drive to the highest limit, and he's extraordinary at that. So buzzwords from today's interview so far have been conviction and extraordinary, by the way. On whether results elsewhere add a spring to our step in training. I haven't noticed that, but obviously there's a lot of narrative afterwards, but that's it. Every game in this league is a must-win and a very difficult game to win. We're all very appreciative of that, so you don't get carried away with any of that as well. On whether it's harder to prepare for a game against a long-serving manager. On this one, I think the hardest thing is the time that you have. It's basically a day when you can't really do much to prepare. So basically, you don't prepare before. Literally, preparation is about 70% of success. So what are you doing even? What are you doing even? So it's understanding the time that we have to spend to analyze and understand that. They have evolved as a team. Oh, here we go, evolving again. From where they were probably a year ago to now, and how they have managed, how they can change in relation to the context of the match, which is something very specific to this team. In order to prepare in the best way, you want to give the players everything, but be able to simplify the information and make it as concrete and as clear as possible for us being in the best position to implement what we want to do tomorrow. Hey, Marino too, he's absolutely well. Big up Vigilante. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. And people, don't forget to subscribe to Vigilante. Vigilante has a gaming channel. Go subscribe. There's multiple daily streams. And go subscribe to Vigilante. He's also a football channel where he does watch-alongs, where he does sports and all this good stuff. Go subscribe to Vigilante, people, as well. Go and subscribe to Vigilante. Give me a second. Give me a second. So here it is. Here is Vigilante's gaming channel. And here is Vigilante's sports channel, people. If you haven't already, go show him some love. Merino should have 43 pace on FIFA, dude. Don't even start with FIFA, you know. Trophy-wise, what have they achieved so far under Simeone? So let's see. We can do a small side note. We can do a small side note to this. What has Simeone done at Atleti? He has won the world's best club coach in 15-16. He has been Spanish champion 2 times, 13-14 and 2021. He has won UEFA Super Cup twice, 12-13, 18-19. 2 times Europa League, 11-12 and 17-18. And don't forget, people, this 17-18 is the year when they beat Arsenal in Europa League. They have won the Spanish Cup in 12-13. And they have been Spanish Super Cup winners in 14-15. So the latest trophy Simeone has won has been in 2021 season when he became the winner of La Liga. Let's just put it that way. So he's quite decorated. As the manager. Let's just put it that way. Quite decorated. Arteta gonna have to say Digivolve soon, and considering the new Digimon game is whipping Pokemon's ass, dude. I need to get onto that. I prefer Digimon anyways. Big up, Cooper. Big up. How can he even play in 10? Like, ask Arteta. Ask Mikel for that. Big up, people. Smash the likes if you haven't already. Smash the likes and subscribe. He is him, man. Don't even disrespect Simeone. Simeone is a very good manager. Very good manager. On why Simeone's team is so difficult to play against. First of all, the willingness to win. You can sense that in every single ball, in every single yard, the way they play, it's about how they compete, and then afterwards how they play. I think there are 2 very different things, and in order to analyze that, the level of organization is really high. The level of discipline is really high, and they have acquired a lot of talent throughout the years that are very specific for the needs and the way they want to play, and they are very, very good at exploiting those opportunities. Keep shoveling. On if Simeone could be successful in the Premier League. If he works in the Champions League, which is the highest competition in Europe, he can do it anywhere. I don't know, you have to come here and try it and feel it, but I'm very sure that his know-how is unbelievable, and his character and willingness will take him anywhere. And that is the case, to be honest. That is the case 100%. Wouldn't mind having Simeone at Arsenal. Saying this one more time. On why we are so effective at set pieces. We keep evolving. Here we go again. And keep improving. It's a system that when you put it in place, the system has to learn every single day, every single game to become better. That's in relation to the players that we have and what we learn from ourselves, as well as that what we learn from the opposition, and try to be as consistent as possible. In order to do that, you have to give importance to certain topics to become really important, and we try to do that in the way that we share the time and the focus in game preparation, and then it's the delivery. On how Gabriel Heinz's one-on-one sessions help the players. That experience. If somebody tells you if you do that, you're going to be successful, and you know that he's done it and he's been successful, it's a lot of credibility there. Well, not... On how the players have reacted to Heinz's arrival. It's a question for me. My feeling is that they really love him, which is normal. Okay. But the rest of the coaches are the same. They're all very different characters, but the relationship and the bond that we have with the players, I think it's unique. And I think that's something very, very powerful in the team. Well, here we go. This was Mikel Arteta Waffle House Mickey Ross settings. Hopefully you had enough waffles with the syrup, your hot cocoa, or whatever you're drinking. And yeah. That's a tough task reading Mikel Arteta's interview, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Atletico Madrid game, for me, has too much riding on it. For my liking, and that for me is the reason why I'm very cautious with the approach to this game in all of this, because under pressure it's a bit different story. Yes, we are a big happy family, and Heinz is not only ketchup but the angry drunk ranting uncle, basically. Yeah, he's the uncle nobody wants to talk with, tries to avoid. Well, that sounds weird. Anyways, but it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But overall, yeah. Sorry, Bob was away from the chat. Just brought the ticket for tomorrow's game. Big up to you. Good luck. Good luck at the game. Have fun at the game. Good luck with your Tony Adams shirt and everything. Hopefully nobody disrespects you. Best of luck. Have fun. And hopefully we win. Hopefully we win. Although I'm expecting a stink fest. That's obviously that's nothing to be excited about, to be honest. Don't fall asleep in the stadium, though. Don't fall asleep at Emirates. Big up everyone, people. Berta can show Simeone his future office. Yeah, 100%. Berta can do a tour, like you would be working here. This would be your team. Here is the dressing room. Here is the training pitch. Here we do the tactics. Here is the presses. Prepare yourself, basically. Berta already can start doing that. 100% he can start doing that without shadow of a doubt in those terms. But yeah, people, it's that time. It's that time. Predicted starting 11. Predicted starting 11 for tomorrow's game. Let's do this, people. And afterwards, as per requested by Mubarak, we will do a combined starting 11. We're going to do a combined starting 11 afterwards. We're going to do a combined starting 11 afterwards. But for now, let's do the predicted 11 for tomorrow's game. Here we bloody go. I assume the goalkeeping position doesn't change. It's David Raya. Well, defense doesn't change, to be honest, even if we are talking in that regard, because the 11 kind of picks itself, because the saying, as the saying goes, winners don't change teams. So for me, it's gonna be something like this. Only two positions are gonna be up for grabs. I'm gonna do it this way. This is basically everyone, pretty much almost everyone. And afterwards, it gets a bit tough because I would love for Ranieri to play this game as well, but he might be too raw for it. I know it sounds weird, but he might be too raw for it. And we all know that Mikel Arteta is going to say that he felt that this game wasn't meant for him and all this crap, right? So it will be very interesting. I think the most probable lineup will be the same as versus Fulham except Merino. Yeah, but I'm up for Eze. Exactly. My expectation for tomorrow is this. This is my expectation for tomorrow. Where is Martinelli? This team, I expect to see this team tomorrow. This is the team I expect from Mikel Arteta to be putting out. Since it's Atletico Madrid, it's another big game, just like against Liverpool and just like against Man City. He will tuck the tail between his legs and go defensive. That's my expectation tomorrow. Obviously, in what 22 hours, in 22 hours and a bit, we're gonna find out the starting 11, right? In 22, yeah, no, 21 hours we're gonna find the starting 11. No, 23 hours we're gonna find starting 11. 22 and a half hours we're gonna find the starting 11. Find out the starting 11. But this is my expectation for tomorrow's 11 from Mikel Arteta. Do you think Mikel is going to go with this 11 tomorrow? This match is on Amazon Prime TV for those in the US. Big up, UK, sorry. Big up to everyone. If you have Amazon Prime TV, go watch it there. Arteta and Smart away the level of two strikers. He's not gonna. It doesn't fit his system. He doesn't want to change the system. He doesn't want to adapt the system because we have seen it. He doesn't want to adapt it to one striker. Why would he do it for two strikers, right? But as I said, my expectation is with this. He's going to go defensive. He's going to tuck the tail between his legs and basically try to hit on counters, just like we did against Liverpool and just like we did against Man City. He's going to try and prey on corners against some very tough defenders, which is going to be very interesting to see how it works out. Because Atletico Madrid, 6'4", Lenormand, and everyone else like Jose Maria Jimenez, everyone's going to be tough to beat. I'm expecting that. Conor Gallagher is going to run his socks off in the middle. I expect that as well. Barrios is going to be a tough one to handle. Llorente on the right is going to be a very difficult thing for Calafiori. That is one of my expectations. I think Griezmann or Raspadori or even Julian Alvarez is going to drift out a bit to the right, to the left as well to tackle Calafiori. I expect them targeting a tiny bit more Calafiori because Timber has proven that in one-on-one situations defensively he's very sound. The stand tackles he can make on the ground he pretty much gets it with about 95% accuracy or something like that. Well, how much was it? 96? Oh, sorry, 85% accuracy, which means there is a very small margin for them to go through. Against Calafiori, given that the freedom Calafiori has in this team going forward, he's going to get caught out. And for me, that is a big issue. With the technical ability that Atletico Madrid possesses, the passing ability, even from Koke, if you want to put the old-timer, one of the legends of the club, into this mix and everything, it's going to be a very tough task. But hey, I think he's going to try and target Calafiori. And to have that defensive coverage at least a bit more, I think Martinelli is going to start left wing. Hence why I have put Martinelli at left wing for my expected starting 11 from Arsenal. Let's just put it that way. Those are my expectations. If we only had Barrios or Ruiz and not Slowpoke Merino, like I wanted Ruiz when we signed Merino. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was advocating for Ruiz very hard, but obviously we didn't get him. And Barrios we were linked with Barrios as well, and we also are not getting him. That's the most likely the starting 11 for tomorrow's game, except I think Trossard will start, not Martinelli. Really? For me, the thing is, Trossard started the game against Fulham. He scored a goal. And if Mikel Arteta's previous actions are anything to go by, he's going to bench Trossard. Because somehow Arteta has this weird fetish. Whenever player starts maybe to pick up some confidence, kick into gear, pick up some form, he instantly benches them. Happened to Emil Smith-Rowe, happened to Ranieri, happened to Trossard, happened to Martinelli, and it's always mix and match, basically mystery bag situation going on. Which name he's going to pull out of the hat, that player is going to play. And that for me is the biggest worry. Trossard also doesn't provide as big of a defensive coverage. And I think against Atletico Madrid, given how rapid and technical they are in the attack, and with Calafiori being out of position quite a lot, I think Martinelli is going to be deployed as a defensive coverage. That's at least how I expect to see it. Obviously, I could be wrong, but yeah. My great-grandmother runs fast. Well, that midfield is going to get bullied by Atletico Madrid. To be honest, our midfield is going to get bullied tomorrow to a certain extent. Because the midfield, what they have with Gallagher, Barrios, Koke, and everyone else, what's its face? Let me pull up Atletico Madrid's squad currently, because that is definitely gonna give you some inkling of what we can expect tomorrow. Basically, this is the Atletico Madrid squad, right? So my expectations for tomorrow's game are Oblak as a goalkeeper, Lenormand, Kanko, and Jimenez as center backs, those three. Most likely Javi Gallan, or maybe Ruggeri. Ruggeri has been quite in decent form. He's going to play left back, your left wing back. Llorente is going to be right wing back. Barrios, Gallagher, and what's its face in the midfield? I forgot his name on top of my head. And maybe Koke even, because he's the captain. For left wing, I'm expecting Baena to start. One thing about Nico Gonzalez, on occasion, Diego Simeone plays Nico Gonzalez as a left wing back. And I can see him also playing him in this role also tomorrow, right? The attack is going to pick itself out. He's going to start Alvarez and Griezmann. That's my expectation as well for tomorrow. He's going to start Griezmann, and he's going to start as well Alvarez. Sorloth might be coming off the bench if something is not clicking right. At least that's how I see it. If Gabriel had Bozo moments like yesterday, Alvarez and Sorloth are definitely scoring, without shadow of a doubt. Alvarez, Sorloth, Griezmann is going to find the pass and everything. Almada is going to do some madness there as well. Like, it's actually nuts. Just watch what Atletico Madrid did to Real Madrid a couple weeks back. It was brutal, exactly. And my expectations, that's why I am very reserved in my predictions and my expectations. In an ideal scenario, I would see Eze in the 10 and stuff like that. But yeah, Alvarez, he's going to cook us. Apparently, there are talks that Alvarez would be available for 150 million, if any, or 150 to 200 million, sorry, if anyone wants to take him off Atletico Madrid. So Arsenal are not getting him. Would be perfect in that number 9, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be very nuts. Yeah, and then they weren't playing with them. Exactly. And they're not going to play tomorrow as well. Even though they're away, they're not going to play tomorrow. Can't forget Sorloth. Exactly. Sorloth, for me, for me, one of the biggest question marks is why we didn't go for Sorloth last summer, when we all knew that we need a striker, and Sorloth was available for what, 28 million pounds, something like that. Let me check. Sorloth to Athletic. How much was Sorloth? Yeah, 28 million pounds for Sorloth. That's how much Sorloth was last summer. Not this summer that just finished, but 24 summer. Sorloth was 28 million pounds. For me, that's a weird one. In my opinion, we should have gotten him. Definitely should have gotten him. Yeah, that is also the case. Given the situation that we play a lot of crosses, he could actually do well in there, to be honest. But yeah, this is my predicted 11 for tomorrow. I would put Eze in the 10, but knowing how what the 11 Arteta has put out so far against his toughest games, and those have been City and Liverpool, Merino has played in the 10, right? So I don't expect much change tomorrow. If I see Eze in the 10, I will be very happy. Very happy, to say the least, if I see Eze in the 10 tomorrow. And if I don't, well, it was also expected. So it's kind of a win-win, lose-lose type of situation at the end of the day. But yeah, this is the 11 I'm actually expecting to see tomorrow. My starting 11 for tomorrow. Now, people were asking in the chat, People were asking in the chat to do the combined starting 11 of Arsenal and Atleti, right? Arsenal and Atleti. Anyone down for that? Combined starting 11 for Arsenal and Atleti, because it could be damn ugly. It could get pretty damn ugly. Arsenal and Atleti starting 11, combined starting 11. It could be very insane, to say the least. Starting 11. Wait, let me. Starting 11, combined starting 11. Arsenal 3-1 Atletico Madrid. There, I've said it. I hope you're right. I genuinely hope and pray you're right, because that would be a nice day out. Man, you can crack. You on crack. We are lucky if we are even scored 2 goals. True. Brentford take the lead against West Ham. 1-0, 42nd minute. Big up Brentford. 1-0 against West Ham. Who scored? Thiago scored. I see. Thiago Igor scored. 1-0. 1-0. Anyways. Starting 11. Combined starting 11. This would be nuts. I think this will be very nuts overall. We don't have a top 5 attack. You pull that off. We have legit crap left wing, and Arteta has turned Gyokeres into Havertz. To be honest, Havertz looks better in this team than Gyökeres. That is how nuts it is. Because at least Havertz, compared to Gyokeres, has link-up play. He can take a touch, he can pass the ball, which technically allows the ball to flow more efficiently, and maybe we can exploit some gaps. With Gyökeres, we cannot do that. Howler by... Who's in goal? Areola? He partially stopped the shot and trickled on into the goal. I assume it's Areola who's in goal. He tends to make these mistakes like that. Must be Areola. Yeah, it's Areola. Yep, expected. It is Areola in goal, of course. Anyways, combined starting 11. Now, before we do this, we need to set up some parameters for this. Because if it was straight up with merits, if it was straight up for everything, it would be Oblak for me. Last 2 seasons, Rajak has been bare. Like, if we are looking that point of view. So the big question is, what kind of parameters we are setting for this combined starting 11, people? What parameters are we setting? Let me know in the chat. Man, don't ever underestimate Atletico. Liverpool did many times, cooked many teams. Underestimate Atletico, got cooked. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough against them. What type of parameters? Big up Godfrey. Big up Godfrey. Hope you're doing well too. I'm good. Hope you're doing great as well, my bro. But yeah, combined starting 11. What are we saying? For me, it's Oblak in goal. For me, it is Oblak in goal. People will disagree, but hey, Marino under shit. Yeah, what's going on? At the moment, we are doing combined starting 11. We just did the predicted 11 for tomorrow's game. Basically, the same 11 just we had against Fulham, just Merino in the 10, because I think Arteta is going to go defensive, and Martinelli on the left to help Calafiori deal with the attacking power that Atletico Madrid possesses. That's how I saw it. For me, it's Oblak. As much as he hurt us that semifinal in the Europa League, still it's Oblak for me. Or was it quarterfinals? I think wait. Wait. Was it semifinals? Yeah. Oblak, I agree. See, if it is this all time or from form, since we're going with Oblak, for me it's kind of mix of the both. Because if we go strictly from recency bias, it is Raya. But if we go overall, it is Oblak. For me, Oblak is a better shot stopper, even though Raya has made some phenomenal saves for Arsenal, to say the least. But yeah, I'm shifting towards Oblak. My combined 11 be most Atletico Madrid team and just Gabriel and Timber from Arsenal. Interesting. So who you are putting instead of Saliba? Lenormand? Longley? Jose Maria Jimenez? Who you're putting? Berkinel and Josar gonna get locked up. No need to. Just put Oblak and Alvarez. The rest are our boys. Oblak 100%. Saying that we can agree upon. The issue with this is, though, Atletico Madrid play 4 at the back, but they tend to play also 3 at the back. So for me, at the right back, I'm gonna go with Simba. Yes, Llorente is a very good player. He's a very good right wing back / right back. He plays right back as well. Wait. Atletico versus Osasuna. What was the 11 for Atleti against Osasuna? Llorente was playing right back. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Llorente is an all-rounder. Technically, isn't Llorente by default when he just started? Wasn't he a midfielder as well? He just became a right back under Simeone's system. So yeah, that for me is the thing. With Llorente, you get also the leadership, to be honest, but you get the goals, you get assists, you get the pace, you get defensive. He's jack of all trades, but master of none. Yeah, exactly. Hence why I'm going with Simba. I'm not gonna lie. And that's the reason I'm going with Simba as well, because Simba has proven that he actually can be very, very good. Even with an injury when he played last year against PSG, he was actually he had a few times when he got cooked, but overall he was very good. Yeah, no shadow of a doubt. Llorente is a very big, high quality player, without shadow of a doubt. Without shadow of a doubt. Now, center backs. Are we saying Gabriel and Saliba? Or are we talking about also maybe we are putting in some other arguments, I don't know, for Lenormand or someone like that? Because, yeah, that situation about center backs is pretty much straightforward if you ask me. It has to kind of be Gabriel and Saliba, doesn't it? Because of the partnership they possess together. It was partnership. Yeah, see, Gabriel and Saliba, people are saying. Yeah. Exactly, Llorente can play right back, right wing back, number 6, number 8, number 10. He plays right wing as well. He plays all of that, exactly. Gabriel and Saliba, exactly. So seems pretty much straightforward. Pretty much straightforward from that regard. But I'm gonna give a shout to Lenormand. Yeah, exactly. He's something in between, exactly. Left back. Now, the thing is, ironically enough, like we have Calafiori and Skelly, right? They have Javi Galan. They have the Italian kid Ruggeri. And if they play technically 5 at the back, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing Gonzalez there. Like Nico Gonzalez, they're playing there as well at times. I have seen him play there. I don't know if it's that just on occasion, but I have seen him play there as well. And for me, that is the... You say Calafiori is trash, but Javi Galan isn't great. Like, he is not that good. Yes, he was good at Celta Vigo, technically, but for Atleti, he hasn't done much. Javi Galan hasn't done much. He's a decent player, but the issue is we are talking about a position where none of the teams excel or strive, like, uniquely. This one is like a coin toss at the end of the day at the moment. That, for me, is now the big question. Who are we putting as a left back? Exactly. Left back is a 50-50 for me personally. That's just my just my thought process. But I don't even know. Like, genuinely, I don't even know. Yes, they're playing Hanko as a left back at times as well. The Slovakian center back. I have seen also them do that. When they be like, wait, wrong game. Where did they play? Where was the game? They just wait. Let me scroll down. In the draw against Celta Vigo. What was the lineup? Hanko as well played left back. Like, that is not it. Like, Hanko definitely is not it. Brentford 2-0, Thiago again. Damn. GG. Damn, now I wish I didn't get rid of Thiago. Skelly, and it's not like he was dropped because of poor form. Yeah, that for me as well. Like, for us, it's Calafiori, but he's been good for what few games, and that's also only going forward 90% of the time. Defensively, he's a liability because he's out of position so many times. And everything. We are doing that right now, by the way. If you pay closer attention, Dio, we are doing that. Doesn't look like Nuno can save this West Ham. Like, that's the nuts part. Skelly or Calafiori, I don't even know. I don't even know. For me, it's a nuts one. Because we don't have a left back out and out, and the left backs are genuinely. Go figure. Are we going to put Skelly in? Just because? Are we putting Skelly into the team just because? Like, that for me is the big question. We can put Skelly in there just because, well, out of all of the left backs, technically he had at least better last season. Let's just put it that way. Besides that, there is like, basically you close your eyes, throw a dart at 4 pictures of all these 4 players, and basically whichever one you hit, you can put in there at the end of the day. Let's just put it that way. Soon I'm back over South. Upside still 1-0. I see. See, Fusion is saying Calafiori. Marlon is saying Skelly. Where is Godfrey? Godfrey is undecided. He cannot decide. Genuinely cannot decide. Like, I don't even know. Genuinely, I don't even know. That left back spot is an actual mystery. Let's just put it that way. It's a genuine mystery. But you know what? I'm going to put in there, I don't know. And like, seriously. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to put in Skelly just because. Like, genuinely just because. Yeah, just because. Yeah, that's the thing. Ruggeri technically is the best option over them all, but it's not like for Atleti. Wait, let me check Ruggeri overall. Because at Atleti, he's been decent so far. They just signed him for, well, genuinely nothing, to be honest. Like, let's be real. They signed Ruggeri for 14 million pounds. Before that, he was at Atalanta, right? So we could actually look into that one a bit more. So that for me is the biggest thing. Wait, let me check last season. Yeah, 30 games, 3 goals, played almost every single game from bell to bell, almost. Against Arsenal, he played 89 minutes as a left mid, ironically enough. Plays 121s in the La Liga, in Serie A, sorry, he plays most of the. Yeah, toward the end part of the season, he was not playing, or he was left mid and everything. Technically, Ruggeri is the only actual left back option. Let's just put it that way. Welcome back, bro. How long you stay? I don't know. Like, anyways, we can decide. We can decide afterwards. Midfield. Midfield. What we are saying for midfield. What are the candidates for the midfield? From Arsenal's side, it's Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, and Odegaard. Lol. From Atleti's side, we have Barrios, we have Koke, we have Gallagher, we have. If we are counting Ben as a winger, aren't we? As a left winger, because that technically would be the best left wing option, ironically enough. So yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of at the moment caught between two minds. I'm thinking about potentially. I'm thinking about Zubimendi, Gallagher, and Barrios, which sounds hella weird. Yeah, Koke is washed now, but overall he's been one of those. Are we putting Llorente in the midfield, or are we saying there is no chance in hell just because he is a more of a right back these days? In the last what 3 seasons? Are we saying Llorente is a right back more than actually midfielder? Yeah, I see. I would put. Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't be against putting Llorente in the midfield as well. I wouldn't be against that in those terms. Wait. Lineups, right? Llorente. What we saying about this? What we saying about this? Right, let me check quickly. Let me check something about Llorente. I need last season. What we saying last season? Yeah, Llorente played 9 games as a midfielder, 29 as a right back, 11 as a right mid. But yeah. They have Gallagher, but he's actually doing well for them. He had a rough start, but overall he's doing well for them. I'm looking for them right now. I just saw Gallagher. Exactly. That's the thing, because he's not in English media. It's no PR. That's why people forget about him. Actually, you know what? This might be interesting. Barrios. This might be very interesting, Barrios. Spanish midfield, you know. Literally a Spanish midfield. What are we saying, people? Llorente, Zubimendi, Barrios midfield. Yeah, all Spanish midfield, just like Mikel Arteta likes. Yeah. What are we saying? We good with that? We good with that, or you think we need to change? I'm more curious that nobody is saying Eze for the 10 spot. I'm more curious about that. That nobody is just saying do this. Whoa. Nobody is saying do this and replace Barrios with Eze. I'm quite shocked that nobody is saying Eze in the 10. Very shocked, to be honest. We are not putting Eze just because he hasn't done much at Arsenal so far. Llorente can create. He definitely has tech, 100%. 100%. So no. So Alvarez at striker. Alej Baena for left wing. I'm gonna die on this hill no matter how you look at it. For me, Alej Baena should be left wing. He must be in the team. For me, Baena is better than any left winger we have. And technical ability wise and everything, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. If we put Baena in, then there's no Eze. So what about this? Saka goes right wing. Yeah, I forgot about that, to be honest. What about this then? What about this? The nuts part about about this 11, right? The nuts part about this 11. Left back is a toss-up, right? There's go figure, basically speaking, right? It's basically go figure, right? But overall, I like it. The issue with all of this is, right, there is no Gyökeres, right? There is, well, it is what it is. Gyökeres hasn't done like at Arsenal much, but in general, right? There is no Griezmann, for example. There is no Antoine Griezmann in the team. And for me, it's kind of nuts because Griezmann is one of my favorite players still to this day who's being active. That's how nuts it is. Although in recent years, due to injuries and age, let's just put it that way, to say the least, because he's 34, he's not the same as well. He definitely is not the same. So kind of very hard to argue a point where Griezmann should be playing. Because if we look at last year he didn't do much as well. Last year in 38 games, 8 goals, 7 assists in La Liga. In Champions League, 10 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. Like that for me is the other thing. I think Barrios. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. I was thinking about the same. For me, Barrios is a very, very good player. Very good player. Very good. If we are looking at it. Arteta likes Sociedad midfield, not Spanish per se. True. I mess with Griezmann. He's still one of my favorite. Yeah, like at the moment, yeah, his age, everything is letting him down. But yeah, Griezmann can also play behind the striker. Exactly. Sorloth and Alvarez carried. Yeah, like that for like this 11. Is it good? Do you like this 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Atleti players and 6 Arsenal players. Manager is Simeone. Like we are not even going to discuss this situation going here. But yeah, for me, it's actually a very decent team, very good team, to be honest. The left back position is the sus one, right? Because we can put Ruggeri in there and whatever, right? But overall, I think it's a very good team. Very good team. That's actually a very nice starting 11. Very nice combined 11. Very nice. I'm kind of in favor of this. I like it. Really, really like it. Very good. Very like it. Left back position is the only. I think the left back is the weak spot. And unfortunately, given that how they play, like it's actually kind of nuts because if we look at least recent games, Atleti are playing him as a left back. Atleti are playing Hanko as a left back in recent games, right? But hey, Skelly is there just because, but I would also argue Ruggeri. Yeah, Simeone definitely won't start Skelly though, right? But this is just a fictional thing, so it is what it is. Let's be real. But overall, yeah. If it was Simeone, he most likely starts Ruggeri there. Without shadow of a doubt, he starts Ruggeri there, in my opinion. And also, I would do this, to be honest. I would do this as well. Llorente plays on the right predominantly, so might as well be a right center mid, not actually like that. So nice 11, nice team. I think overall we did good, very good. I think it's objective. Let's just put it that way. I think it's an objective combined 11 of Atleti and Arsenal. I think it's objective. I think. But yeah, people. Final predictions for the game tomorrow. I'm going with 2-1. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Not sure how we're going to score the 2 goals, but I'm going with 2-1 Arsenal. I'm expecting a stinkfest nonetheless, and I can see us also drawing the game. Losing, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. I don't know. I hope I hope it's not this, basically. 0-0 stinkfest where each team has like 2 shots, or let's just say 5 shots, 1 on target, and that is a P-roller basically for each goalkeeper to save. I hope it's not that. Let's just go that way. 2-0 Arsenal. I see. I'm going 2-1 because I think Athletic has quite a bit to offer in the attack. I think our defense can be gone at if they put enough press, because recently playing out from the back, we have done so many hospital passes. It's a big worry for me personally. I'm going with a win, but can't place result. Yeah, I get it. I understand. But I see Dio is going for a draw. Rest of Arsenal fans so far I have seen have gone with a win, interestingly enough. I ain't saying anything, so I'm too scared. I get it. Fusion is saying 3-1. I'm not too sure how we're going to score the 3 goals, though, but I'm all for it. If we can score 3 against Atleti, I'm all for it. I'm not going to lie. I am all for it, people. All for it. But yeah, hopefully Arsenal do well tomorrow. Hopefully we win the game. Obviously, no stream tomorrow because Arsenal play at 8 p.m. UK time, which is basically the usual time I go live, right? So no stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try to put out a video. I try to put out a TikTok/YouTube short as well. But for today, I'm gonna be signing off. So if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, go check out my YouTube short, my TikTok. And hopefully I'm going to see you all, well, tomorrow maybe on the video. And if not, then on Wednesday when we're going to review the game. Peace.